Today is the first day of November and I still haven't harvested one of my potato beds. It should have been harvested a long time ago, so I am a little bit nervous because I'm afraid that some of the weevils have started eating the potatoes. I'm hoping that the potatoes are still okay. I'm also very curious how that bed did because I did put a lot of in-ground composting in that bed when I created it last season. So we're gonna see together what we are going to get out of that bed. Here is the bed. It is pretty weedy. I still also have this bed that I need to weed. This bed got filled with weeds this season because that was the only bed that I did not plant. But anyways, this is where the potatoes were. Also some tomatoes volunteered in here, and I'm assuming that's from all the compost that I put in this bed, the in-ground compost. And I want to see what we are going to end up with. We're also going to be weeding the bed, obviously, and super excited. I'm also seeing some tomatoes that are still available even though we had a hard frost. So we're gonna see what we can salvage out of these tomatoes. Looks like some of them got eaten by something. We have a lot of critters in here. So because these tomatoes did not get trellised, they're a super easy meal for the critters, which is not a big deal. I wasn't able to stake any of my tomatoes this year. You can see there's one here and plenty of weeds. So let's go ahead, dig up the potatoes and clean up this bed. Wow. First potato I dig up, and look how big it is. This is a russet potato. Super exciting. So I just did this row right here, and all of it was full. I'd say it ended right about there, and there was this much left, and this is how much I did. So I'd say maybe like 4 feet had nothing planted in them. I still have 2 more rows, or 1.5 row, I don't remember exactly, or maybe just 2 half rows. I'm not sure exactly where these stop. I do have the tags where they stop. Oh, okay, so I have half a row over here. That's where the tag is, and I don't know where the other tag is. Somewhere around here also. So 2 half rows basically. But look, just from one row, how much we got. And look at these potatoes. I mean, the weevils, some of them, they are starting to get eaten, but this one is done. I gotta go in. My little one woke up. She was taking a nap. So I'll come back tomorrow and finish the rest. So it's the next morning, and it's 25 degrees Fahrenheit right now. We have a severe frost, and everything looks white. It's beautiful, but it's cold. And I have 20 minutes right now before we have to start our school day. So I'm going to hurry up and see what I can dig out of these potatoes in these 20 minutes. So let's go ahead. But just quickly, look at this. Everything is just white. I think frost looks so cool. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. at this one. That's a perfect russet potato. So my alarm just rang. I gotta turn it off, and what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna collect all the potatoes from the row that I dug, and I'm gonna head inside, and I'll show you what I got right before I head inside. Okay, so it took me about a couple minutes to dig out the rest of the potatoes, and these are the potatoes that I got over here. This is a pretty deep basket, you can see, and I got some pretty good decent potatoes in here. I'm not sure, forgot the variety of this one. I had tags in here, but they all faded away because these were the tags that came with the bags. But I love this size. I think that's a perfect size for any use, for making mashed potatoes, for fries, for, I don't know, whatever I want. I feel like this size is the easiest to use, and this size also is great for, I think, for roasting or whatever. These are good too. So we got a good variety of sizes in here, but it looks like, you know, the russets and these did really well, and I still have one more row left in here. And so yesterday I got, the basket was a little more full than this, and I still have one more row over here, and I'm assuming it's going to be either about the same as this one or maybe a little bit more than this one, like the one I harvested yesterday. I think though the ones on this side are smaller because I believe these are some red potatoes, and typically most red potatoes have a smaller size than the russets and the yellow potatoes. I don't know if this is the German butterball or whatever it is. I don't remember. I think I might have recorded a video of planting this bed, or I might have not. I don't remember. Unfortunately, my tags have faded and I don't know what they are. I can go back and look at my order, and if I see the varieties, then I will put them for you guys on the screen so that you can see the varieties that I've planted in here. So what I'm going to do with these potatoes, I have a table that I'm curing all my potatoes on, and I just lay them out flat. I don't pile them up on each other, and I leave them in the garage, and I just cover them with I have a tablecloth right now. That's what I'm covering them with, because you don't want to allow any light on them, because if the potatoes get any light on them, what happens is they turn green, and that green is formed by a chemical called solanine, and that chemical can be poisonous to us, and it can cause digestive issues, and you know, it can poison you, basically. So you want to avoid that, and to avoid that you want to cover your potatoes. And the curing process allows the skin to harden so that when you touch the potato it doesn't just peel off the skin, because right now their skin is super soft. And it also allows the starches to concentrate in the potato as well, and you're going to get a better tasting potato that way. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and put them in the garage on the curing table that I have, and there's plenty of airflow in there as well. That's why I put them in the garage. I don't want to do it inside because it just creates a mess, and I'd have to put a fan on them and all that. So the garage is the easiest place to put them in. My basement is too small to allow them to cure in the basement. And then once that happens, then I can brush off any excess soil off of them. I put them in baskets and cover them with something, just a light covering, so that they don't receive any light. And the baskets allow airflow in and out so that the potatoes do not get moldy. And you want to store them in a cool and sort of a dry place. You don't want too much humidity because that's going to cause mold, and it's going to cause your potatoes to rot. So I am storing them in the garage because our basement gets hot because I do freeze dry. In our basement we have a freeze dryer and I use it all the time. In fact, right now it's running. I'm freeze drying some bone broth and some peppers. And by the way, I still have a lot of peppers that I need to harvest in here. They're covered with a frost cover. Some of them, the ones that are touching the frost cover, got a little bit of damage, but the inside should be okay. But anyways, so that freeze dryer is always running in the basement. The basement gets hot, and that's not good for the potatoes. Our garage does not really get below freezing, and that's a great temperature for most root vegetables to be in. I'm storing my onions in there, and the onions are doing great in there. And last season when I stored my crops in our basement, a lot of them rotted because of the freeze dryer, and because also we ran a dehumidifier, because in the spring we tend to get a lot of humidity from all the rain and stuff like that, from all the rain that ends up coming, and it just causes the basement to get super humid. So we need to run the dehumidifier. And another downside of the dehumidifier is also it causes the basement to heat up, so it makes the basement just not ideal for storing root crops. So that's why we are storing in the garage. If your garage does not get below freezing, or too much below freezing, I think that would be a great place for storing your root crops. And we are in zone 5B over here, so our temperatures get pretty low and things do pretty well in the garage. So I've stored a lot of things in the garage. I've stored potatoes in the garage before. I just put them in a box and stored them in the garage, and they stayed alive for, you know, a long time, and for the next season. So they lasted for a long time. So that's what I'm doing this year. These are the ones that I harvested yesterday, and you can see the difference. They're already starting to dry out. And these are the ones that I harvested today. And over here are the ones that are already cured. I just need a basket or of some sort to put them in. I have two different varieties. I'm sorry, I forgot the varieties that I planted. I know these are the purple Majesty potatoes. And actually, I thought we didn't like them, but when I roast them, they taste so good. And I roasted them with some butternut squash, and I put some brown sugar on them and some salt and pepper, and they taste amazing that way. So that's my favorite way of using these. I tried using them in like soups and stews and stuff like that. I do not like the flavor that way, but when they are roasted, they taste amazing. And I also don't like them mashed either. So I'm going to use these for roasting because these are great for that. And these are not red on the inside. They just have a red skin on the outside. I forgot what varieties. Again, I'm sorry. If I remember the varieties, I'll just flash them on the screen for you. But we got plenty of potatoes. I have some over here under the cover, and I have my geraniums still drying a little bit before I put them in the in boxes or paper bags. And if you want to know how to winterize or overwinter geraniums, I did a video on that, and I'll link it for you in the description box below so that you can watch, or I'll link it in the end of this video. And we have a few butternut squash left over here, so we didn't get a lot of butternut squash. I did harvest a little bit, some some more. So with these geraniums, I forgot in the video to mention that you don't want to have them dry like completely before you put them in paper bags. So I am letting them dry just a little bit because I don't want any mold to form, and that's why I'm drying them out a little bit before I put them in boxes or paper bags. So all this again is some potatoes, so hopefully this should be enough for us for the year. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something new. And if you're new here and you like these types of videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell to receive notifications of whenever I upload new videos. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. I'll be leaving a video for you right here so that you can go ahead and enjoy it. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!